Okay, so first thing we need to do is remove the knob. That just unscrews like that. Takes a little bit of pressure to get it started, but once it's gone, once it's been cracked, it comes off pretty easily, like that. The next stage is getting this plastic mold here off. So basically I'm using a plastic trim thing. You can get these from most automotive places. They're quite cheap to get, or you could always just use a butter knife or a flat blade screwdriver. I'll pop this off. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, as you can see, I've got that in there now, and this whole thing just pops the clips like that. Now there is a plug under here. If we go have a look there, so that just pops out quite easily. I'll pause the video for a second while I do that. It's just a little push button on there and it slides out. So now you can see that's all come off. Plug just sits in there like that, and the rest of it's down here. Pretty simple to get into, and the little switch that we're going to look at is literally in this little white box here. A lot easier to get to on these CX5s than it is on the Mazda 6s and 3s. Now, one other thing we need to do, which will make this a lot easier, is to put it into neutral. So just start the car, put your foot on the brake, or you don't need to start the car, you just switch it to the on position, and then we've got it in neutral. It just makes it a lot easier to get all this and get in there. Okay, so now to access that, basically what we need to do is get those two Phillips head screws. There's one there. I have this little tool. It's a little ratchet with a bunch of different fittings. I've had it for quite a while now. I think it cost me about 15 or 20 bucks. Very handy little tool to get into tight spots so you don't have to take all the rest of the mouldings off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pop this off. There's like 2, 3, 4 clips. Just use a small flat blade screwdriver or something similar. As you can see there, they're just all pried up, and then that just pops off. Nice and easy like that. And then down here, not sure if you can see that, but there's there's 2 clips. There's one there and there's one there. So just these little things here, basically just put a screwdriver in behind it, just lever it out gently and it pops out. Okay, and then once that's done, that's pretty much it. There's just one more clip just down here, which will pop off with a screwdriver, and that gives you enough now so you can just sit it up like that. So there's room to move now. You don't need to take it right out. You can if you want, but it's easier to do it this way. Now we've got this little bit here. This just pops out. This is just on a clip, but be very careful because there's a spring behind it, which you don't want to lose. Let's see if I can do it with just one finger. No, I'm going to have to do it with the screwdriver. I'll have to put the camera down. So, and that just slides off of there, and you can keep the spring intact, as you can see. I just used a little tool here, just a little pick, just to push the clip down, make it a bit easier, because my sausage fingers wouldn't fit in there. And yeah, that popped out nice and easy, as you can see. One other thing I'm just going to do to give us a bit more room is remove this metal, looks like the bracket that the plastic sits on. It's just 2 screws and then that comes up, but it will give us a bit more room in here just to pull the switch out, which is we've just undone. Okay, so I'm actually just going to take this off. It just pops out from under there, and we're going to put it down out the way just to give us a bit extra room. And there's a little clip just in here we want to pry with a flat blade screwdriver just to pop the switch out. You could do this earlier if you wanted to, doesn't really matter, we're in the process, it just gives you a bit more room to get in there. Okay, now, so basically what you want to do is just stick a screwdriver in there and just put a bit of pressure against it and that'll pop it, and then it slides out like that, and you can bring it around. If I can sort of maneuver it out of here, bring it out through the front there, and then we just have to disconnect the plug. As you can see, the plug there, oh, try that. Now if we look here, you can see on the top of that nub there where it's worn through. I've seen this about 3 or 4 times now on various Mazdas. You can buy the same part and you'll get exactly the same thing that'll wear out after a while, or we can do the little trick I'm about to do and show you guys, which will pop that off and replace it with just a piece of tin plate. And yes, it doesn't feel much different to the rubber, you can't notice a difference, and it'll last probably for as long as the switch lasts now. Basically I've just made that just out of an old number plate that I had lying around, just cut it up with some tin snips, shaped it into the same shape as the little rubber nub there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that rubber nub off. I'll put the camera on pause for a minute while I do that. It comes off pretty easily, just slips off. What you end up with is that. Just it's a bit hard to see in the light, I'm not sure if you can see, there you go. And yeah, basically I've made this so it just slips on. I will shave it down with a file in a minute, but as you can see it just sits on there. It's the right height, and then I'll shave it down and we'll use a bit of epoxy glue just to hold it on there. And yeah, it works really well. I've used it on multiple cars now and it's done a really good job. Yeah, it'll never wear out again, that's for sure. Okay, now you can see that's the little replacement nub that I just made. Just took a couple of minutes with a file and a pair of tin snips and some pliers and a vise. Pretty simple. And I'll put a dab of super glue just under there on the inner nub to make sure that that doesn't fall off anytime soon. Easy as that. Now she's all ready to put back in there. Pretty straightforward, you just do the reverse of what we just done, so I'll run you through that again, and hopefully it's a pretty simple video to follow, haven't missed too much out. Okay, so now I've just manoeuvred this back in, that just slotted straight back in nice and easy, no dramas there. I just went in through over here and manoeuvred it in there, took literally about 15 seconds. Now I'm just going to put the screws back in. So those are the 2 screws, one here, one down here. So I'm about to put the second one in. Next thing to go back on is our little clip here, which is pretty straightforward. That just pops back on there like that, and that's it. Piece of cake. Next step is putting this back on. I might give that a quick clean before I put it on. Okay, so we've given that a quick clean up. This is pretty straightforward. It just goes on there, and then we maneuver it under here, which I'll need 2 hands for in a minute, so I'll probably pause it, and then we clip that down, same as we took it off. So, yeah, that's all basically just clipped in there. It was easy to maneuver in, literally took me probably 20 seconds. One more clip down here, there we go. That's all in place now. Beautiful. Next step is putting this little brace back in there with the 2 Phillips head screws. Again, pretty straightforward. It just sits on there like that, and then we put the screws in place. So I'm going to pause for. Okay, so next step is putting this trim back on. Don't forget to plug the plug back in. I've done that multiple times and then put it all back together and realised. So make sure you plug that back in. It is a little bit fiddly, that's why I paused it, but again, only took about 10 seconds to get it done. Now what we want to do is down the back here, you got two little nubs there, push them in, and then oh, don't forget this either, this little clip here, this little cover, it just clips on. It's got the 4 clips there, that's nice and easy. And then we do this, line up the 2 nubs down the back there, push them in, and then that all just clips down like that into place, and we put our knob back on. That'll go on till it's nice and tight. Like that, and then put on the brake and we can put it back into park. Now, as you can see, turn it on. That's it, and straight off again, no more issues. Hopefully that video will help you guys out or help someone out there. I've done this quite a few times now on various Mazda models and they all seem to do the same thing, but save yourself 500, 600 bucks getting it done by the manufacturer. You can do it yourself for about, that took me about half an hour, and a little bit of tin plate if you got a bit of DIY know-how, or you could probably make something out of epoxy if you wanted to, or you know, you could do it various ways, but I've just used the tin plate because it's pretty solid form of material that's not going to wear out super quickly or ever. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Show you now. Drive, park, shut it off. Beautiful.